And there is Joe Joyce wanting the winner out of Danny Dubois versus Joseph Parker. And let me counterpunch. I think that him wanting a fight with those two guys is way off the grid right now. I don't think that he's in position to do so. And I think if he got the opportunity, it would only be because whoever the winner is would want to give them the opportunity. You know what I mean? More so Dubois than Parker. But I think, to be fair, I think both of those guys have made improvements since he's beaten them. Okay? Now, if Joe Joyce got it, I'd be happy for him because I'm a Joe Joyce fan still. I mean, I think Joe Joyce has always been a guy that, you know, he's had a certain type of style. He has an unlimited gas tank. He's durable. I think he's still durable to a certain degree. Not like he was, but I think he'll scrap it up with anybody. But I think there's levels to this, and I think there is a redemption phase. There is a redemption process. And I think Joe Joyce needs to go through that redemption process just like anybody else, regardless if I'm a fan of him or not. I don't think that he's in position to do so. And I think just throwing him in there, you know, as even a voluntary, I think now, and especially in this Turkey era, you know, I don't think that there's not a big demand for Joe Joyce taking on Danny Dubois. You know what I mean? Or Joe Joyce taking on Joseph Parker. There's not a big demand for that just based on, you know, Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce was beaten by Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora has lost 11 times. Look at Derek Chisora's record. Not taking anything away from Derek Chisora. I'm just saying he should have beat Chisora based on where he's at. So he's under fighters like Chisora, and Chisora's on his way out. Chisora is the glorified gatekeeper. So if you put yourself under the gatekeeper status, you're under there. So you gotta have some impressive wins before you can call out these guys. Now, I could see, like, hey, I beat them both, but yeah, that was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? See, boxing is so unforgiving, and things can change so quickly in boxing that it like last year feels like eternity. Last year seems like it was years ago. You know, because, you know, one day you're here, the next day you're not. And then in any time between, it feels like, you know, a lifetime ago. Okay, so Joe Joyce, you know, where he was versus where he is, it's just too extreme. It's just too extreme, you know. So you're looking at this whole ordeal with Joe Joyce. You know, he got dropped by Chisora, most importantly, not just a decision. He got dropped by him, so people question his chin. So you got to ask yourself, well, what does Joe Joyce really have to offer that, you know, that he still has? Because if he gets dropped by Derek Chisora like that, you could tell it was a legitimate knockdown. You know, you start asking, like, well, what does Joyce have to offer these fights or these fighters? See, he wants the winner, which I think, well, damn, Joe, why not the loser? Why not fight the loser of those two guys? Why the winner? Because the winner would be a champion, and he's nowhere near an opportunity for, you know what I'm saying? That's like him cutting in front of guys like Macaulay. And it would make more sense if you fought the loser, or you fought the guy, or the guy that's number one, you know? Something like that. But the guy that's number one has fought his way up to that opportunity, up to that level. Whereas Joe Joyce has a lot of work to do, in my opinion. But you guys tell me what you think of Joe Joyce wanting the winner of Danny Dubois versus Joseph Parker, because he's beat them before. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch.